Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Kristin and I'm going to be leading you through this 25-minute power flow today. So just a heads up, it is a little bit more of an advanced sequence. So if you ever need to take a break, hit a child's pose, go to down dog, modify it anyway, I totally get it and I encourage you to listen to your body and do what you need to do for you. Other than that, blocks will probably be helpful. Always good to have a towel and water around for the power flow as it gets a little bit sweaty. And let's go ahead and get started.
So let's make our way back into our downward facing dog, hands down, feet down, and lift your hips up toward the sky so that you're in that upside down V shape. From here, you'll lift your heels, put a big bend in your knees, and this time I'd like you to bring your butt closer to your heel. So we're coming almost into a crouch, or I call this a crouching down dog. Tuck your chin into your chest, and on your inhale, roll yourself forward into your high plank. Good, let's try that 2 more times. So exhale, slide your hips back, crouch. Inhale, ripple, roll yourself forward into high plank pose. Good, exhale, melt the hips back, crouching dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward into your high plank pose. Shift the weight forward into fingerprints and toe tips. Then on your exhale, we'll bend our elbows and lower our bellies all the way down to the ground. Once you make it down, just press your hips back to your heels, arriving in your child's pose. Good, we're not staying here long. On your inhale, you'll circle sweep your arms out and up, coming into a kneeling Tadasana. So it's pretty much like you're standing with your arms up and overhead, but you're on your knees instead of your feet. So hips are right over knees, shoulders are right over hips, fingertips are reaching up towards the sky. Take a big breath in here. On your exhale, open T-twist. The left hand will reach forward and right hand will reach towards the back of the space. Good. So oftentimes that left hip will come along for the ride in the twist. See if you can keep your hips square. Drag the left hip back an inch and let the rotation very much so come from the torso. Go ahead, take one more big breath in. And then on your exhale, I'd like you to cartwheel your hands, your chest, and your chin down to the ground so you're in a little inchworm shape. Pressing your palms into the mat. On your inhale, you'll drag your heart forward and up into straight Arm Cobra. Good. On your exhale, bend your right knee in half for a hamstring curl. So utilizing the back side of your right leg, maybe feeling a little bit in the glute. You'll tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then on your next exhale, round your right knee into your nose like an angry cat. Good. Step the foot all the way forward. Yes, and as always, if the foot doesn't make it in between your hands, it is totally cool to just wiggle the foot forward until it's right in a good place for you. So we want knee stacked directly over the ankle. Root down into your 2 feet. On your inhale, you'll rise up into a high lunge. So high lunge is very similar to a low crescent lunge or a kneeling warrior. The difference here is that our back knee is off of the mat, and in yoga, we want our back leg to be straight. So it's different than a box lunge or a normal lunge that you would do in the gym. We're really looking for a straight back left leg. So pull your left quad up, kick back through your left heel as you continue to bend the right knee forward so knee stacks over your ankle. Go ahead, take a big breath in here. On your exhale, we'll find a cactus or a goalpost back bend in our high lunge. So like a lat pull down, you'll bend your elbows to 90 degrees. The elbows will go forward and up as the fingertips and the back of your hands move back and down. Good. Keep that back bend in your upper back, your chest, your heart. Just re-extend the arms straight so the biceps reach by the ears. On your exhale here, we'll come into a T-twist. So the left hand will reach forward, the right hand will reach towards the back of the space. And just like when we were in kneeling Tadasana, we don't really want our hips to come along for the ride for this one. We want much more of this twist to come from the torso. So see if you can stabilize in your lower body by hugging the outer hips and the inner thighs closer towards one another. I like to imagine that somebody has their 2 hands on the outside part of my hips, like right where my IT bends are, and are just pressing those 2 points in towards one another, towards the midline of my body for stability. This 2-part transition is a little tricky, so I'll go through it slow the first time. On your exhale, I'd like you to move your left hand back towards your left hip and spin your left heel down towards the ground. On your inhale, you'll straighten your right leg and reach your right fingertips all the way up and back, coming into peaceful triangle. So the exhale will be the back side of the body, the inhale will be the front side of the body. Peaceful triangle is pretty much like a normal triangle pose. The only difference is that you're turning this into a tip up and back side bend as opposed to a tip forward and down side bend. So both legs are still straight and strong. Pull your quads up, hug the inner thighs together. Yeah, think about tucking your booty underneath you and keeping that brace in your core, so navel towards spine, bottom to ribs together so it stays out of the lower back and is very much more about lengthening out that right side of your body all the way from your toe tips through your fingertips. Take one more big breath in here. On your exhale, it's helpful to re-bend your right knee, just a soft bend there. You'll take your right hand either down to the ground or a block about 6 inches in front of your right foot and a little bit to the right. Your inhale will float your left arm and your left leg up to the sky, opening up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So double check your right toes for a second. A lot of times in half moon, those right toes go pigeon-toed because our body is like just searching for the easiest way to accommodate balancing on one leg. In this shape, it's actually the safest for your knee if your toes are parallel or straight forward. So make a tiny adjustment there. Yeah, that might mean that you bring your block up a setting higher. It might mean that you need to take your left hand on your left hip for a moment for balance. Good. Wherever you arrive as those right toes are parallel, I'd like you to then think about pulling up in your quad, pulling up in your inner thigh, and flexing your left foot, lifting your left heel up so that we start to engage outer glute of left hip. Take one more big breath in here. Then on your exhale, lower your left hand down to the ground, supported warrior 3. Warrior 3 is much more of a flat back halfway lift. So can you roll your shoulder heads back, draw the navel up and in, and press your heart and your gaze forward just like you would in an Ardha Uttanasana. On your exhale, you'll step your left foot to the back of your mat, arriving in your low runner's lunge. Hands will stay flat on the ground. On your inhale, float your right leg up and back, coming into down dog split. We're going to try a 3-legged vinyasa here, which is a lot of glute strength and a tiny, tiny back bend. So lift your right heel up even higher using just your glute to do that. You want to feel a strengthening in your right glute. And then looking forward in between your hands, start to roll yourself forward, keeping the right leg up. Yes, there it is. Bend your elbows like chaturanga. Keep that right leg up, up, up. Yes. And then point your toes 2 feet on the ground for upward facing dog, lifting your chest up. And then exhale, downward facing dog, lifting your hips up. Good. Let's do that on the other side. So lift your heels, bend your knees, find your crouch dog, but back to your heels. Inhale, roll yourself forward to your high plank pose. And on your exhale, lower your belly all the way down to your mat. We'll press ourselves back into our child's pose. Hips will go to heels. Inhale, circle sweep the arms out and up. Kneeling Tadasana. So instead of sitting your butt on your heels, you want to lift your seat up so that hips are stacked over knees, shoulders are stacked over hips, and fingertips are reaching straight up towards the sky. Take a big breath in here. On your exhale, it's an open T-twist with the right hand reaching forward and your left hand reaching backwards. Good. So again, just notice if that right hip is going along for the ride in the twist. See if you can encourage the right hip to draw back about an inch or two, and then encourage the twist to come way more from your torso and your rib cage than it is your hips. Take one more big breath in here. On your exhale, cartwheel both of your hands back down to the ground. Lower your chest and chin down so that you're in an inchworm. You'll drag your heart all the way forward and up through your thumbs, arriving in your straight arm cobra on your inhale. Down your exhale, take your hamstring curl. Left knee will bend in half. I like to point my left toes. And what we're trying to do is get the left heel as close to the glute as possible. Good. Keep that hamstring curl. Press your palms into the ground and tuck your back right toes. Lift your right knee an inch off of the mat on your inhale. And then exhale, you'll round your left knee to your nose, thinking heel is staying close to butt here. Step all the way forward towards the top of your mat. On your inhale, you'll reach both of your arms up to the sky, arriving in a high lunge. So again, set up the lower body here so that we've got a lot of stability, and it'll make the back bending in the upper body a little bit easier when you're grounded. So big bend in the front left knee. You're driving through that right heel, the big toe and the pinky toe. Hug the inner thighs together, and then engaging the back right quad. So lift it up and kick back through your heel. On your next exhale, you'll bend your elbows like a goalpost, coming into your cactus or goalpost back bend. So using the arms like levers, again, tip the entire apparatus of your chest up towards the sky. Your inhale will straighten your arms, so you're coming into that back bend, but now with straight arms, which can be a little bit more challenging because the arms are longer. That's it. Nicely done. On your exhale, find your open T-twist. Again, it's right hand forward and left hand towards the back of the space. Good. So navel is in, torso is the thing doing the twisting. And then this two-part transition again. On your exhale, slide your right hand down and back by your right hip. Pivot your right heel down to the mat. Inhale, straighten your left leg and reach your left fingertips all the way up and back. Peaceful triangle. Good. So here again, legs, lower body, core, super strong. Quads are pulling up. Inner thighs are hugging together. Glutes are even tucking under a little bit, so you feel that strength. Navel is drawing back. This is very much a side body stretch, so you want to feel that all across the side of your left waist. I, a lot of times, will feel this too in my left hip flexor. On your exhale, put a soft bend back into your front left knee. Take your left hand down to the ground or a block in front of and to the left of your left foot, and then gently flow your right leg and right arm up towards the sky on your inhale. Very nice. So again, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. It's left toes facing directly forward instead of pigeon-toed. So that's a little bit of an adjustment for most of our bodies, especially as we're just starting to learn the alignment in the single leg balance. Good. Again, engaging the outer part of the right glute. Lift the right heel up just a smidge higher. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lower the right hand down to the ground or a block. Again, if the ground is far away from you, always use blocks to bring the ground closer to you. Finding a little bit of a broadness, a brightness across your collarbones here. Inhale, navel in, chest and gaze out. Exhale, step to the back of your mat, low runner's lunge. We'll flatten our palms and send our left leg up to the sky in the inhale, coming into down dog split. Right away, engage that left glute by lifting your heel up higher, not from a back bend, but really from the strength of your booty. Shift the weight forward into your fingerprints. Bend your elbows halfway for chaturanga. Keep that left leg up, up, up. Yes, there it is. Point your two toes behind you. Upward facing dog is your inhale. And exhale, hips will go up and back, downward facing dog. So let's just roll through that entire sequence again with a little bit more fluidity, and we'll add some cool shapes in there as well. Thinking about the expansion of the chest and coming back to a longer exhale to start to settle our bodies, settle our nervous systems as we go into these bigger back bends. So lift your heels, bend your knees, bring your butt back to your heels. You're in your crouch dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to your high plank pose. Exhale, belly to the mat. Good. And then press back into child's pose. Hips will come to heels. On your inhale, circle sweep the arms out and up, kneeling Tadasana. Get nice and tall. On your exhale, we'll find an open T-twist, left hand forward, right hand reaching back. From here, take your right hand either to the small of your back or to one of your heels. We're moving into a revolved camel. So you'll press your hips forward as you lift your left fingertips up towards the sky. And then see if you can take your gaze behind you over your right shoulder. So very much still a twist. We're just adding like a hint, a flavor of a back bend here in the shape. And then one day your hand can come down to the ground in between your 2 feet. That just happens to be a more intense back bend. Take one more big breath in here. On your exhale, cartwheel both of your hands, your chest and your chin down to the ground. Pull yourself all the way up into your high cobra. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, bend your right knee in half, point your toes for that hamstring curl. Here's where things get a little bit more intense. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee off of the mat, press into your palms, and start to roll over to your left side. Your right toes are going to find the ground on the left side of your space. You'll lift your hips, heart, and arm up, moving into a flip dog / rock star / wild thing. It's a prep for a pretty big back bend wheel pose. Take one more big breath in here. On your exhale, come all the way back around, right hand down, right foot steps forward, low runner's lunge. On the inhale, reach both of your arms up towards the sky, high lunge. On your exhale, find your goalpost back bend, so bending the elbows kind of like a lat pull. Lift the entire apparatus of your chest up towards the sky. Gorgeous. On your inhale, straighten the arms. And on your exhale, come into your T-twist. It's left hand forward, right hand back. So similar to that revolved camel, we'll find revolved peaceful warrior. Either right hand is going to the small of your back to press your hips forward, or you're sliding your right hand down the backside of your left leg. Good. And then the left fingertips will reach up towards the sky. Again, the gaze is going to stay twisting over your right shoulder, so much so that one day you can look all the way behind you and catch a glance of your left heel. On your exhale, 2-part transition. Left hand will come down by your left hip. Spin the left heel down to the mat. Inhale, straighten the right leg as you reach your right fingertips up and back, peaceful triangle. Then on your exhale, rebend your right knee. Lightly place the right fingertips onto the ground or a block. Left arm and left leg up to the sky, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Good. Take one more big breath in here. On your exhale, it's left hand down to the ground or a block, supported warrior 3. Good. Find that halfway lift on your inhale. So lifting up your chest, lifting up your left heel even. On your exhale, it's a single leg curtsy squat. Tuck your left knee behind your right. Yeah, try to keep those left toes off of the ground. Of course, the ground's always there if you need support, but I want us to find that hamstring curl, so left heel coming towards your glute. Good. Inhale back to your warrior 3. Exhale, single leg curtsy, left knee behind your right, left heel towards your booty. And my challenger is you're going to take your hands up and off of your mat. So you're really standing on just your right leg. Good. Whether your hands are on the ground, on blocks, or floating above the floor, super slowly touch your left toes and then your left knee down to the ground, coming into a seat here. So we're setting up for seated spinal twist. I just want you to notice sometimes our booty is super high off of the ground, like maybe your left butt is a little bit higher off the ground than you want it to be. We want both of our hips to be flat on the floor. If that's you, no worries. Just take your left leg, extend it straight out in front of you, but keep your right foot crossed over your left leg. Nice. And then whether you've got both knees bent or your left leg straight, we're moving it into a twist here. So right fingertips will tent on the ground behind you. On your inhale, it's left arm up towards the sky. Get nice and tall. On your exhale, hug your left elbow in front of your right shin bone and twist around your body. So lots of different ways to do this twist. I want us to get used to this idea of compression. For me, twisting did not come easily, and it felt like very hard for me to stay in this compressed shape. So the thigh is actually coming close to your left armpit here. You're going to feel a lot of pressure. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Good. Yes, guys. On your inhale, unwind and just a counter twist over to the left. So you can either do this one upright, just both hands over to the left, or you can take it into an IT bend stretch, bringing both of your hands and your head down onto the floor. Good. Gently come back up, and this is the fun part. So reach your hands out in front of you like you're going to hold on to somebody to help pull you up from your seat. You'll take your hands down onto the ground and lift your left leg up, just topping standing split for a moment. Down your exhale, step to the back of your mat, low lunge. On your inhale, right leg will go up towards the sky. You can do 3-legged vinyasa, which is that right leg up. You can do a normal vinyasa. You might add in a chin stand here for my more advanced yogis, or you're just going right back to down dog. That's eventually where we'll all meet so that we can roll through this one last time on the left side. Good. From your downward facing dog, lift your heels, bend your knees, ripple, roll yourself forward into your high plank pose. On your exhale, bring your belly all the way down to the ground and then press back into your child's pose. Hips will go to heels. Inhale, we'll rise up into kneeling Tadasana, arms up and overhead. Exhale, finding our open T twist, right hand forward and left hand back behind you. Left hand will either come to the small of your back, one of your heels. You'll lift your right fingertips up to the sky. We're moving into a revolved camel. So again, recognize that revolved camel is a back bend, but it's also about the twist. So to help us find that twist, can you take your gaze behind you over your left shoulder? Go ahead, take one more big breath in here. Down your exhale, cartwheel your hands, chest and chin down to the mat. On your inhale, pull yourself all the way up into your high cobra. On your exhale, left hamstring curl. Bend your left knee in half. Try to get your heel close to your butt. Tuck your right toes on the ground. Lift your right knee up. And then again, we're going to flip our dog here. So a gentle roll all the way over. Left toes are going to find the right side of your space. Lift your hips up, your heart up, your arm up. Yeah, it's a big preparation for a wheel pose, which is a pretty massive back bend. Take one more big breath in. And then on your exhale, come all the way back around, left hand down, left foot forward, stepping into our low runner's lunge. On your inhale, both arms will reach up to the sky, high lunge. Exhale, bend your elbows like a cactus or a goalpost. Find your back bend by lifting your elbows up, tipping your fingertips back. Almost think about going so far back that your face and your chest are going to reach the wall behind you. Good. On your inhale, re-extend your arms all the way straight. And on your exhale, find that open T twist. It's right hand forward and left hand backwards. So again, moving into Revolved Peaceful Warrior, a few different options here. The most supportive way to do this is by taking your left hand to the small of your back and pressing your hips forward. If you're in it for a deeper heart opening experience, you might slide your left hand down the backside of your right leg as you reach your right fingertips up towards the sky. The further the left hand goes down the back right leg, the more intense of a heart opener it is. Take one more big breath in. On your exhale, you'll circle your right hand by your right hip, spin your right heel towards the mat. As you inhale, stretch your left leg straight, reach your left fingertips up and back, coming into that peaceful triangle. Then on your exhale, re-engage a bend in your front left knee so that your left hand can travel down to the ground a block, or maybe you experiment with floating your left fingertips off of the ground as you fly into your half moon. Right leg and right arm will lift up and in towards the sky. Good. Take one more big breath in here. On your exhale, circle the right hand down to the ground, supported warrior 3. So inhale, engage the back line of the body. Lift the right heel up higher. Lift your chest up so you feel all of that energy in the back. On your exhale, it's a single leg curtsy squat. Keeping your hands on the ground for the first one. Tuck your right knee behind your left. Ground is always there if you need to tap down with the right foot. But if you're feeling groovy, I want you to try to engage that hamstring curl, right heel towards your butt. Good. On your inhale, extend back out, warrior 3. Exhale, single leg curtsy. This time you might float your 2 hands off of the ground if you want a little bit more challenge here. Whether your hands are on the ground, on blocks, or floating, we'll gently tap our right toes down to the floor and slowly lower ourselves all the way down to the ground, preparing for seated spinal twist. So again, I just want you to notice, is your butt high off of the ground? It might be. That's totally cool. If it is, just extend your right leg forward and straight instead of having the knee bent. Good. Once you've found the seat that feels the best for you, it's left fingertips behind you. You'll tent your fingertips down onto the ground, reach your right hand up towards the sky, take a big breath in. On your exhale, hug your right elbow in front of your left shin bone and find your twist from here. So again, the thing that was the most uncomfortable for me in twist was this like sort of overwhelming compression that always happened in the twist. And I find that it's the easiest to become friendly or comfortable with that sensation when we start by hugging the knee into the chest. That hug will also help you sit up taller on the inhale so that you can twist, rotate your chest deeper on the exhale. Good. On your inhale, unwind, come back to center. And on your exhale, we'll counter twist the opposite direction. So 2 ways to do that. You can stay upright, 2 hands just gently inside of the left leg. Or if you want more, you're traveling down onto your forearms and eventually the head will come down to the ground. And that's just a really great IT band stretch. Yeah, super good. On your inhale, press yourself back up. Okay, little bit challenging. Reach your arms forward like you're reaching out for a friend to help you stand up from seated. You're going to take your hands all the way forward as you extend your right leg up into the sky, coming into a standing split for just a hot second. Then your exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Flatten both of your palms. Inhale, we'll float our left leg up to the sky. And then exhale, it's your vinyasa of choice. So 3-legged vinyasa, normal vinyasa, chin stand, modified vinyasa. We're all going to meet back in downward facing dog. Good. Breathing in here for 2. Breathe out for 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Awesome job, guys. I hope you feel both powerful, strong, and like you got a really great workout because I know I sure did. If you like what you saw here, remember to subscribe. I've got more videos coming out for you soon, and I'll see you later.